Still staying on the, I guess, Midwest here, we can call it. Seattle going to take that plane flight from Seattle to Minneapolis. Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, two offenses that seem like they can get after it with the best of them. Two defenses that look like they struggle, to say the least, at times here. You do have a slight favorite, -1.5 here with Seattle. Now, Kyle, I know your angle in this game, which is a lot of the angles that we play versus everybody when you look at Seattle. Seattle -6, no thanks. Seattle under a field goal, sign me up for that.
Correct.
Because Russell Wilson will keep you in the game each and every time. But for some reason, the bottom falls out on Seattle at some point in the game, which is so baffling to happen. But if you just need to win the game, that sort of wipes that out. 55s across the board. You're going to be in a dome. It is going to be loud here. But you have Russell Wilson on one side. You have Kirk Cousins on the other. Dalvin Cook actually missed 2 days of practice. That's something to keep an eye on if you're looking towards Minnesota. But from a side perspective, I did circle Seattle. Why? Because I think I'm safer with Seattle than I am with Minnesota overall with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I think they can win this game. But if I'm looking from a team total perspective, boy, it's almost a coin flip on which side to take here. 55 is a ton of points in the NFL. But if we're looking at two offenses, and sometimes I like to say, Kyle, Seattle just needs a running mate sometimes. If you tell Seattle, we're going to run the football, slow it down, you know what Seattle does? We don't need Russell Wilson today, which is so idiotic. But when they have to crank their offense up, Russell Wilson just cooks out there, makes things happen. I think he's going to be able to cook, and I like their team total. I think Seattle's going to be able to approach those high 20s and get right up against that team total, if not cash in this one. What do you think between the Seahawks and the Vikings?
Yeah, this is one of those rare games where I was close on the Seattle team total because that Vikings secondary, Peterson and Breeland, especially Bashaud Breeland, he was outstanding the previous years with Kansas City. He looks slow and lost, does not belong on the field. He's giving up a full fantasy point per route ran against. Think about that. That is absolutely insane. You just don't see that, especially from a guy with the pedigree of Bashaud Breeland. But that secondary looks dreadful. Do you want to have a slow, bad secondary when you're facing Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf? The answer is no, and you're right. Will I take Russell Wilson at anything more than a field goal? Almost never, and I talked about it last week, and it came to fruition. But Seattle under a field goal against Kirk Cousins, even though they're at home, you can sign me up for that. So it's a rare occasion where I prefer a side over a team total. I like the Seahawks here. I think they come back a little bit pissed off after giving up after a home loss and such a big comeback in that home loss. Look, if it's loud in Minnesota, there's one team that I know is ready for a loud crowd. That's the Seattle Seahawks. I'll take Russell Wilson over Kirk Cousins under a field goal any day of the week. Give me the Seahawks.